so an uphill battle. Yesterday, when Kyle Rittenhouse took the stand, I would say that that would have been an unconventional move to put a teenager on the stand. There were some snafus that he made during his testimony. He did say, I wanted an AR-15 because I thought it was cool. But for the most part, he did what he needed to do. He had an effective direct in terms of his testimony, laying it out in front of the jury and at least creating what is reasonable doubt. And it's important that the audience understand the standard here is reasonable doubt, and it just has to be, do they reasonably doubt the state of mind that Kyle Rittenhouse in that quicker? And I think that his testimony, along with a relatively ineffective cross-examination by the prosecution, made that pretty clear.
So, Charles, for people who haven't been in the courtroom the way you have, explain what we saw between the judge and the prosecution yesterday. The judge sends the jury out of the room. They have that back and forth where the judge kind of yells at the prosecution about his line of questioning, said, I warned you not to go there on that. What did we watch there? And how odd is this dynamic throughout the trial between the judge and the attorneys in the courtroom?
Well, I wouldn't say it's not reasonably unusual to see something like that happen. However, the vitriol with which this judge went after the prosecutor is a little bit much. I mean, I know that I have at different times experienced myself or seen other attorneys being admonished by the judge for something that they've done, but not to this degree. Now, what I will say is that there was one particular ruling that the judge made that I thought was appropriate, and that was when the prosecutor was going into a line of questioning regarding Rittenhouse's relative silence in the wake of his arrest. And part of the reason that I say that is we all do have a constitutional right in order to, against self-incrimination. And so I do appreciate that the judge did want to protect against inferences that were drawn there. But there have been so many different other rulings that this judge has made throughout the course of this trial that I found to be extremely problematic. The one thing that I'll say, Willie, is that sometimes as a prosecutor, you know that you're going to get dinged by a judge by something that you ask, but you feel like the risk is worth the reward because you cannot unring the bell in the eyes and the ears of the jury. So once the jury hears you ask a certain question, that's it. And so that's why the judge was so adamant about admonishing him, because he knew that there was likely going to be a motion, which there was, from the defense for a mistrial, and this judge doesn't want to see that. But the degree, the level, the anger that judge displayed toward the attorneys, I thought that was uncalled for.
Mm-hmm. So Charles, help me out here. If obviously the burden that the state's carrying into this case is high, regardless. And so let's just move the judge to the side, discount any rulings that we've seen or haven't seen that we think may have helped the defense, helped Rittenhouse. Let's move to the side any mistakes the prosecution has made, things they have done or should have done. And let me just ask you straight out, if this trial were to start tomorrow and you were going to be the prosecutor and I was just talking to you and asking you, OK, you're going to go in, you're going to try this case. How hard is it going to be for you to get these charges to stick? What would you say?
On a scale of 1 to 10, Joe, it'd probably be an 8.5. This is going to be a very difficult case, primarily because you have a chaotic scene, and most of the witnesses that you have from the prosecution, as we have seen, do something to help your case, but they also do something to hurt your case. And that's not a good way to build a case in chief. At the end of the day, a lot of the witnesses that the prosecution has put on have not been helpful. The one big criticism that I have for the prosecutor in this case is that cross-examination yesterday was simply too long. It was boring. It had jurors sort of wiping their eyes and not paying very much attention. It needed to get to the point. I understood technically what the prosecutor was looking to do, and that was identify specific moments that they're going to try and then go back to on summation and put together as a string of events to suggest Kyle Rittenhouse could not have been acting sensibly in the manner in which he's saying that he is regarding what he did and his actions. However, the way that they did that was so ineffective that I think it completely lost the jury and ultimately is going to hurt their case. It could be a death knell.
So, Charles, what